Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Razor from Razor2 coming at you with another Rust Beta Console build video. This build that we're going to be looking into, I just created not too long ago, and it is called the Brad Bunker. Now if you aren't familiar with bunker bases in Rust, it's when a base has a kind of underground bunker where you keep your tool covered and most of your, really good loot. Tier 3 loot, to be exact. Now, when we go through this tutorial on how to build it, we're going to do the first iteration of the Brad Bunker. And what's going to happen is it's going to give you a new sense of how to build inside of Rust, how to build a bunker base, and how to protect your loot just a little bit more when you are entering the beta and full release for Rust on the consoles. Alright, so what we're going to first start out with is a triangle. Alright, we're going to have 6 triangles all together, so you're going to make a octagon shape. Primarily you want this to be stone at first, so make sure you're gathering wood and stone in the beginning. If you're just spawning on the beach, obviously you're going to put a box for your resources in a bush and a sleeping bag in the bush until you get the base built. Now in the beginning you're going to start off with this octagon, and then what you're going to be doing is putting a triangle on the front, 2 on the sides, 2 triangles on the sides for foundations to raise up to the top, and then you're going to put walls all the way around. Now, keep in mind I am on my custom server, so this is going to go real fast. Alright, so what this acts like here is the entrance to your bunker. How this works is you're going to place 4 half walls at the top. And just to let you know, I was kind of inspired of building a bunker base because gaming experience. You'll see me post a link to his channel down below. He does a lot of good bunker base builds, and he really did inspire me to build a bunker base and make the Brad Bunker. Alright, so now after this, you're going to be putting some 4 triangles up here, access ceilings. Go ahead and make those stone. After that, you're going to start to seal up your bunker. Now do keep in mind this is going to be the entrance to your bunker, so you want to place down your TC. Alright, let me just put a wall down, make that stone, and then always make sure that your stone, there's a difference. There's a hard side and a soft side. When building a base, you always have the hard side pointing out. Alright, so what you're going to do is place the TC in the corner like so. Which I definitely can't right now because I'm TC blocked on my server, but we'll just use a small box as a TC. Alright, after that, what you're going to do is you're going to put down a door frame. And at first, you're going to have wood doors, so I'm going to simulate that and put that down. Make sure you lock it up with a wood lock or a key code lock if you have the metal already. Now, don't forget to stone your ceiling. Open up the TC room and close that off. Now, in the middle of this, you're always making sure you're locking this and your TC at the same time. Alright, so what you're going to do here is you're going to put 1 door frame down and then close it off. Make sure you put a lock on it. For all intents and purposes, you're good. After that, it's kind of hard to jump up here, so you're going to place your furnace. Place a furnace right here. Alright, you're going to jump up to the top. When you jump up to the top, you're going to start doing the business. You're going to go ahead and seal that off, and then the roof will be complete. Alright, once you get to the top, you're going to go ahead and place down door frames so we can start to see our front door. You're going to place walls down, and you're starting to create your airlock. Do remember to turn this all stone, because this is what the entrance to your bunker base will be. Alright, we got those all stone. Let's just say we're going to put the triangle ceilings in. And then, since you've got metal now, we're going to move over to sheet metal doors. I always make sure the doors face in. That's just a preference of mine. So, it's up to you if you want to do that. Don't forget the last door frame here. And then put your door. Remember to put all your locks on the door. That way you can get a nice seal for your airlock. Alright. Now you have roof access through the back, above your TC, and then you can begin to build the base. Now at first, you can put a door here. Later on, I'll show you another iteration of the bread bunker, and then we'll move on. This door is going to stay locked for now. That way you can look off the top of your bunker at people and have roof access. Now, what you're going to do is close this off. Make sure everything's stone. And then seal. You're going to put one wall here, then a half wall, then a triangle floor. After you put the half wall down, you're going to go ahead and make sure that you break it, which we'll do right now. Usually you can use the hammer to break it, but the TC isn't available. Alright. Go ahead and make that wall, make this stone, and then begin to seal the top of your second floor. Once you seal the second floor, go ahead and jump on top, start making everything stone. Alright, in order to make an airlock for the roof, you're going to go ahead and place one triangle floor, and then 2 walls, and a door frame. Once that's complete, shoot out the floor. Alright, make sure you put the top ceiling on, and then make everything stone. The concept of this base is just to save the loot and just keep building to where you have a strong base. It's fairly cheap in the beginning, so make sure you do it with your friends, and it'll be a good base for a duo, trio, or a Zerg. Alright, this triangle here in the corner next to your, I call it an elevator lift, or shaft rather, you can go ahead and close that off now, and then put a door. But typically you put a garage door there, but for now we'll just leave it open. So you make sure you get the PP for the garage door and put it there in the elevator shaft at the bottom. Now for this corner, we're going to go ahead and place one door frame, and then after that we're going to go ahead and place our first level 1 workbench here. After you put the level 1 workbench, go ahead and seal that off. Alright, now that the base is fairly protected and the bunker is almost sealed completely, we can go ahead and go to the front and continue our airlock and add one more loot room. After this, we'll go back down to the bunker and I'll show you how to configure the loot room for the bottom. Alright, so your front door here, you have access to it, but it's too high for you to jump in at first. So what we're going to do now is put a triangle floor down, foundation, and then 2 more next to it. Now what you're gonna do is put 1 single door frame and then 2 wide door frames. Make all of this stone. You'll see what I'm trying to get at in a second. Let's just configure the base and we'll be good. Always make sure that you have hard side out so nobody can raid you easily. Alright, so now that we got this, let's get our single door and we'll be good. Alright, I like it when it swings inward, so it's preference based really, so don't worry about it if you have it in or out. Make sure we lock this, and now that we have metal, we're going to be putting shop fronts right here. Now what it does is it helps you look and see if anybody's camping your door. So let's get that. They're metal shop fronts, so they're a little bit more expensive, but don't worry about it. It pays off in the end, because everybody door camps in Rust. Once you have those in, we're going to have the ceiling as well. Because we never want to forget that, right? Because this is our front airlock. Now, in the corner, when you're looking up at your front door, go ahead and take 1 furnace and put it in the corner. Now what this acts like is a step going up, and then you can jump on top and start to fill it in. After that, put your ceiling in and make everything stone. Now, what happens with this is a bunker base is very important to have because when you first start Rust, you really want to keep protected. You want to protect your loot as well. So once you get that front airlock on your base, you're going to go ahead and put in another door frame. After you complete the door frame, make it stone, and then put in a new door, which is a double sheet metal door. Now, depending on your progress in here, you can always have wood doors in the beginning, because when you start off, you'll mainly just have wood and stone. So, my recommendation is with the furnaces, burn metal while you're constructing the base with metal door or wood doors rather, and putting wood locks on them. And as you get metal, start filling in the gaps where you need metal doors. Now, they aren't cheap. They are 300 metal fragments a piece, and the code locks are 100 metal frags. But as soon as you get them, you'll be smooth sailing after that. Now do remember, you do have 2 metal shop fronts in the beginning here, and they cost 300 metal frags. It is a little bit pricey, but you can see what they're used for in the functionality in this bunker base. As soon as we got this done, we're going to move upstairs now and go back to the bunker and configure our new loot room. Now, as I said before, this can be configured more, and the door inside the 2nd floor that we're just going to keep locked will be our expansion to our honeycomb. I'll show you that in another video. Now, when you have a workbench in the 2nd floor, do know that you could put small boxes or large boxes and configure it the way you want here. Now, what you can do, and I can give you some advice, as long as you don't put door frames up just yet, you can use half walls and floor triangles, and then knock out the half wall just so you can put loot on top of them until you configure the bunker and put it in our honeycomb loot rooms, or compartments rather. Alright, now that we're done with that stuff, let's go downstairs and configure our main loot room. Now this is a very unique bunker because it costs a lot to raid. Now, our furnace is here for now, but we're going to have to get rid of it. Now the only way we can do this is by picking it up. Alright. Alright, now that we're here, let's place this, and we have to pick up our furnace. Now the reason for this, and I want to show you guys how the bunker works, is now you put in your floor. So you throw up 2 half walls, one on top of the other, when you're in front of your bunker doorway, and then seal it off. Now the unique thing about this is when you go through and you're able to knock this out, it'll knock the floor down, and then it'll keep this wall here. So what it does is it makes this, your primary loot room not so raidable in the beginning, and it takes a lot to go through stone when you have primitive gear. So this is the entrance to the bunker. Let's configure our new loot room. Now this here, I saved this triangle later for a large rechargeable battery. So make sure you can save some space so when you start having electricity, you'll have a spot for your battery and nothing will bother it. Alright, so now that I got into here, what I'm going to do is start to configure my shelves. To do that, I use half walls and floor triangles like we did before. I like to go all the way up to the TC door, so it's up to you how many shelves you want. Now, knock out the half walls. Now that I knocked out the half walls, you can see the entrance to our bunker, and what we could do is put a few grills with small boxes against the open walls, but we got to be able to traverse through our entrance. So the top shelving will definitely be where our primary loot goes, components, guns, and whatnot, and I'll show you how to do that. Make sure these are stone. And then after that, get your large boxes in place. I like to use that door on the left as kind of a landmark, and then pull my box up as close as possible to it. Alright, once I've got that down, I'm going to get my next box. Now keep in mind you have 3 big storage boxes in here and then 2 small ones, and I'm going to show you exactly how to put them in. This last one's a little tricky, but we can hang it over the edge. Although it hangs over the edge and towards the TC, if people get into your base up to this point, you won't really be able to do anything about it. Alright, now that we've got those down, let's get our small boxes. Alright, I got that box placed, so let's place the last one. Alright. Oops. Now that we got the last box placed, we should be okay. Let me get this here. Alright. Now we have a little bit of a ledge to stand on, and we can get every large box from the ledge, and then we're right next to the TC. Here you'll have about 90 slots worth of storage with the big boxes, and then 12 for each little box. So that's 24. After we're done with that, we can start to configure the rest of our TC airlock. What I like to do in this configuration, since it's an octagon, is start to put door frames within. What these act like are your airlock to your bunker. So you want your bunker to be very, very airlocked. That way you can start to see how protected your tier 3 loot's going to be as you progress through Rust in the beta or full release. Now that we got that done, we could start to put down our garage doors, and hopefully by then you already have them. So you'd put garage doors on each one of these, and you could raise them as you please. Now when you're up on that ledge, you'll be able to access all boxes and shut the doors from there. Now, let's go back since we need to get out and show you what's going on. As you can see, the bunker base closes, and then we're good. So let's go to the top. Alright, so you ask yourself, what do I need to do to have furnaces? Well, I'll show you how that works right now. So you want furnaces and you want them away from people so they can't raid them. We can put them behind doors. The important thing about this base is you can compartmentalize everything. So this is closed. They can't reach your furnaces. You have a closed bunker base. And that is the Brad bunker. I configured this myself, and I definitely like the fact that I can do this and save my loot in the beginning. You cover all the proper avenues for when you're first progressing through Rust, and you also are helping yourself by creating airlocks and visible like viewpoints to see if people are door camping you. I really like this base. Hopefully you guys can use it. The next iteration, I'll show you guys how to add on honeycomb and use those honeycomb, or use the honeycomb as a basically loot compartment. And then I'll show you how I add the camera station and another primary loot room in the back. So I hope you guys like this base, and I will see you guys soon. Now keep in mind also before I leave that this piece here needs to go. So what we're going to do is take this out, because this middle triangle we don't want there. We only want triangles on the left and right of the main entrance. That way the bunker floor collapses when you shoot the twig out in the beginning. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you like the content and the advice for the beginning of your Rust Beta adventure, and hopefully you use this in the full release as well. And I'll see you guys soon. Make sure you guys drop a sub and like. Thanks.